Edit appearance, then chat options, timestamps, hide chat, and pop out.
Cool. It went. Yeah, it should be. It's a
Underneath
host.
So where do you get rid of the Amazon Prime free loot badge that's on the screen?
Oh, you can't.
Right.
Just click on it. Click on it.
Yeah, and it says get 500 bits for only.
Yeah. So that's nothing to do with you. That's one of the overlays.
Yeah. Well, that's stupid.
Do you not like it?
No.
Hi, Sinra. Hello, Big Beastie. Thank you for the host, Big Beastie. Just to let you know, Chugawugga, if you lift your head up just slightly, you're balancing the cup on the top of your head. No, left. Keep going.
It's still Chugawugga.
Oh,
Stay still.
oh, God. Yeah, that's perfect. That's it. Well done, Chugawugga.
Why don't you...
No longer has a duck on his head.
I put it over there just for safekeeping. Hello and welcome everyone to tonight's thrilling session of Shadowrun with this motley crew below me. Has everybody had a good week?
No.
Yarp.
No? Oh, you all did so well last week, and I'm looking forward to tonight. So thank you for Medivac for the 50 bits. Thank you for Chugawugga for 51 bits. Thank you for Big Beastie for hosting. Much appreciated. And Longshanks, you were very naughty and got timed out. And that was...
Yeah. I'm sulking. It's fine.
For 6 minutes.
I know.
10 minutes he timed you out for.
Which is what I know. I went to bits then whilst Chugawugga was balancing the cup on his head, and it wouldn't let me do it because I'm on timeout. So.
Yeah, he's timed you out for 10 minutes.
It was about 100 bits as well I was going to give, but there we go.
Oh well. Yeah, I didn't time you out. I don't think the bot did. You didn't say anything wrong. No, Chugawugga timed you out.
Yeah. I know.
He actually said Chugawugga timed Thingy.
Wow.
I know he did.
Serves him
Done
right.
it before.
Serves him right.
Right, yeah. Let's get on.
Yeah.
Let's get on. So, So welcome, and we've got probably have a bit of a short adventure tonight, a short session, because I made up a purposely short session.
Sorry, I was just looking at Zoom when you were talking, and all of a sudden, big sort of like head went up as he just did his camera.
All right. So we'll see how it goes. Often I think it's going to be a short session, but by the time everybody decided what to do,
we'll be finished by 8. Do you think?
Well, I was thinking about more past, just so you know.
Just the 7-day horde.
Oh, right, I see. I'll try to talk quickly then. So before we go any further, let me allow the players the opportunity to introduce who they are and who they will be playing tonight, starting off with the young fella down there who is Chugawugga.
Hi, I'm the young fella down there called Chugawugga. Tonight I will be playing a character called Stanley, Stanley Lovely, who goes by the name of Studley on the streets. He is a middle-aged, slightly balding, overweight combat mage who is trying to make money to pay for his mother's medical expenses. She has various conditions. He won't go into that though. And yes, that's his role, is to make money. And yes, I will pass on to Big Beastie because he hasn't got his mic on.
Okay, I am Big Beastie, and I am playing Billy Bob, the tank of the group, the orc, the dog slayer, and the slayer of all things. Well, we'll see how this adventure pans out for me today.
Do you want to? That's just reminded me. You slay dogs in the second adventure, the second ever session. I think it is. I think that's what it was.
Did he stamp on something?
He stamped on a puppy.
Stumped on a puppy.
That's what he actually did. I remember it quite clearly. He just went
Squished it.
and squished it. Yeah, excellent. Who would?
Shaman as well.
And I'm going to pass it on to Mr. EPG.
Thank you very much, Big Beastie. Hi guys, my name is Longshanks EPG. Tonight I'm playing the young, fairly tall elf chap called Hector. He's had a bit of a mixed background. He lost his parents when he was quite young, and he was brought up by his godfather, Bruce Riggs, who is also an elf, who works in Southside Police Department.
Is he? Is he now?
The beautiful, corrupt organisation that it is, but you won't hear Hector say that. He is a elf gunslinger, so that's the role of the party he does. He's what's called an adept, so that means he has very limited magic, but instead of doing what Studley does and throwing spells at people, he channels them inside himself, which makes him slightly faster in reacting in situations and theoretically makes him better at shooting things. Enough about me. I'll pass you on to Medivac.
Hello, I'm Medivac, and I play Locksmith, or Lachlan Smith, a little dwarf from the wee fair islands of not Scotland,
Donegal.
from Donegal, wee little island of Ireland, and I play the resident Decker, kind of. Everybody fears the Matrix, but
Don't make me go into the Matrix, please.
Green. I mean, he's a young chappie. He's lost his father under special circumstances, and now he used to work for Qubit 64, and at the moment he's now helping out this group of Shadowrunners who he's fallen in with. So
Yeah,
let's see how it goes.
Betty's regretted it ever since as well.
Qubit 64 is a data analysis computer company in Metro. So yeah.
And I shall pass it on to the god that is in Wills.
Back to me. Hello. Right. I thought we'd do something a little bit different tonight, guys, as I do the brief synopsis. Say again, sorry. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just in order to give the synopsis, I'm just going to ask some questions that you need to sort of like answer. Okay then. Okay. So initially you were called by a talismonger called Mistletoe. That's right, and you went off to his shop, which is called
Dog
in Dog.
The Magic
Leaf.
Magic Leaf.
Yeah. Magic Leaf. And you had a discussion with him when he wanted to put you all in touch with a fellow almost like talismonger, but looking into healthy ways of living, etc. And he put you in touch with your Mr. Johnson, who is called
George Hampton.
George Hampton. And George Hampton runs
the holistic healthcare.
Actually, the Hampton Holistic Healthcare, but
right.
You get half a point for trying, Medivac. Well done.
Giving the wrong answer.
Yeah. So, and he has a problem at the moment. So, what's his problem?
He's not making enough money.
And
His daughter's gone missing.
his daughter's gone missing, and he owes lots of money to
He
a
owes a
protection.
lot of money to the mob.
Right, so yeah, he owes a lot of money to the mob and he couldn't pay it, and then they decided to take
Moxie.
Moxie, his daughter, and in the last adventure, Studley went and had a rummage around with Hector in the young girl's bedroom before heading back out, and they put you in touch. How much are you getting paid?
Sort
Not
of
much.
Yeah, grand.
a grand.
A grand, and
They stick up your bottom and flush it out.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right. We
it's
get,
like a
you get a
we
free
get liver
detox.
IBS,
Yeah,
like-
you get a free detox flush or colonic irrigation built in.
That's right.
But you can boost up your money if you wish
Yeah.
by doing what?
Kidnapping herself.
No.
Robin.
By also stopping them taking any retaliation.
Yeah,
or providing extra information, which then George Hampton can then use to blackmail them in future.
fantastic, well done. And he gave you a lead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vic Fratelli, didn't you?
That's
and
him.
you found out that
Read my writing.
he or the Fratellis own a restaurant called McHugh's. And what kind of restaurant is the McHugh's?
Fast food burger joint.
Rebadged Burger King.
Yeah, and what's been very important about it? What's happened in the past there?
What's happened in the past?
Yeah,
Um,
you did find out some information.
Oh, they've got a metal detector on the door.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And gun turrets.
yes, well done. You did find that out, and if you remember that it's a franchise, isn't it? That you found out, yeah. And if you remember, they were talking about bringing the food out in paper bags that you were actually transparent at the bottom because of the amount of grease in it. Anyway,
They had a huge case of food poisoning, didn't they?
Yes, that's right. They did, and it led to some reorganizations of things.
Okay, let's
And
move that over here now.
say again, sorry.
Sorry, I was just moving the zoom over to the other
Oh
thing,
yes,
so I
yeah.
can't see the
So-
thing anymore.
And so to start off with, please do correct me if this is wrong. You decided to go down and see Vic Fratelli about the missing daughter because he sort of like has the lead about the mob. And to start off with, there was a sign outside. Was there not?
yeah.
Oh yeah, no gun.
Maybe.
No guns. The sweet signs in future.
Bring your hunger, but leave your guns, or something like
That's
that.
right.
Yeah, bring your hunger but leave your weapons at home. Thank you, Lou McHugh. So I think two of you walked in with your guns.
Yeah.
No.
Two of you marched in with your guns, which consequently set the metal detector or the gun alert off, and you were approached by a rather stern-looking security guard who wasn't very sympathetic to you at all and told you to
Bog off.
leave. Okay, and while you were out there, then your decker, your faithful decker Lachlan, did an AR check to see what was going off, and he noticed that there was various devices in the Matrix, including the metal detector and some kiosk ordering systems, but also a couple of gun turrets. And you did find something that was running silently, and then you found out what it was, and it was another decker. So you quickly came off the Matrix and decided to go and sit in the back of the car with your head in a bag.
Breathing.
In the sandbox.
Yeah, the decker's the
Altered Carbon.
Say again, sorry.
It reminds me of the hotel in Altered
Yes. Yes, it does.
I haven't seen it. I watched the first bit, then didn't understand it, so stopped.
Well,
You should persevere. It's good.
The hotel has automated gun turrets.
Oh yes, yeah. So the decker is currently sat in the back of the car, so like this. If they can't see me, then I can't see.
There's no place like home.
Yeah. Hector's in the car. And
Hector's not in the car.
No, it's
Hector
Hector went round the back to see if
back.
there was a back entrance.
Yeah,
right.
that's it. Hector headed round the back, and then Billy
Billy
Bob's keeping an eye out in the car for anybody approaching. And Hector, Studley went in and saw the map as it was and ordered a burger, I do believe.
No, I ordered a jolly meal.
A
to get the
jolly
toy.
meal to get the little toy.
Get the toy,
And
yeah.
as you can see, there was various people that you were actually able to see. Please remember that these are like ordering kiosks. You can see the security guard here. This one, on this table, there was a rather middle-aged man, and that was his young daughter, you assume. And they were the people who were playing with that at the Happy Meal, if you remember.
What's the spirit, wasn't it, she was playing with?
Yeah, and this guy over here, he was the one that was looking at books on a data pad. He had several cups of soya calf round him. And then this guy over here was a sort of like a businessman sort of type thing. Over here, this door and this door were the bathrooms, yeah?
Latrines.
Yeah, and then I'm just calling up my map here. And then we then had various things on these counters over here. So on the counter nearest that northern door, if you remember, there was some kind of auto grill system. The one underneath it was some kind of pickle slicer machine. Round about, this is all sort of like the food prep area, and there's just sort of like chefs busying themselves creating the food. And then on the western cabinet, there is like a rehydrator, because of course most things in this in 2076 is actually dehydrated, and you need to reconstitute it with water. So that's like one of those things. There's some frying vats, you know, with hot oil on, and then right the way up by the wall there, up here, there's like a walk-in like a store cupboard, you know. So that's obviously got shelves on that has various stuff on it. Okay, so and I think at that point that was when we had left the adventure, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do believe it was.
Yeah, so we will pick it up from there. Let me just go over to the biggie screen, and we will start off by saying the following thing. So the first thing I'm going to say is that Hector, you are continuing round the back. Okay, then. So you're still on your way around to see whether or not you can find an entrance. Oh, sorry. One other person I forgot to detail is this person down here. And if you remember, that guy looked like the description you had of the Vic guy that you're trying to meet. And he's at the moment sat with a rather big pile of McHugh burgers on his table, and he's busy eating them.
I'd just like to say the reason that your bit cup isn't filling up is because you've set a minimum of 10. So nobody can do sort of like all the ones anymore to fill it up.
Oh, have I? Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
You have to send 10.
Oh, got you.
You have to do it.
Oh, yeah. No, I know why I did that. Because last time we had people just doing random bits and spamming the
right. Okay.
spamming everything. That's what it was doing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Studley's there with his jolly meal, and he's got his comm unit actually on his table.
Yeah.
But he's worried about using it, especially seeing that it's been communicated that there's a decker actually in the restaurant.
In there somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but Studley wants to try to keep an eye on the food ordering place. Does it look like it's pretty busy takeaway wise?
Yeah, I mean, there's people coming in every now and again, and obviously just going up to the kiosks and sort of like ordering stuff, and then heading off again. And I mean, there's a regular sort of like outgoing of food. It's not as if everybody's just sat around doing nothing. You know, it's quite busy. It's a busy sort of like area, but it's not overly busy.
Okay. Is it a random group of people that's coming in though? Is it sort of like all from all walks of life, you know, sort of like corp people?
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of corporate people coming in. It doesn't seem to be really that almost like that sort of like area, if that makes sense. It seems to be more more everyday people, or if they are corporate people, they're not in the same outfits that they would wear at work. They've almost like gone down to sort of like casual clothes, you know, hipster clothes.
Right. Okay. So I nearly said Gulliver then. Studley's going to just sit there, finishing his meal, trying to listen into what's happening around, keeping an eye on Vic in the corner, see whether or not he gets any comm calls or anything like that. But that's his actions for the time being.
Okay, so Vic is literally sat there, and he's sort of like hunched over his table, and he's got this big plate of burgers, and he's just literally eating one burger after the other, and all the grease is just sort of like trickling down his face. But he's got one of those serviettes that sort of like tuck into the top of his shirt. So it's sort of like spreading down. So that's getting caught on a lot of it. Okay.
Does he look like he's there? He looks like he's going to be there for a while then.
He certainly looks like he's definitely going to be there for a while. Hector, you go around the back, and there's no entrance to the restaurant along this wall. Okay, there's no entrance around there, but you do notice that there's a side alley down here.
Okay.
And it ends roughly where I'm pinging, and you figure there's probably some kind of maybe like an emergency exit, sort of like there, if you can see that, yeah.
Yeah.
You also notice that that's just like a alleyway there, and you can see that there's various bags and dumpsters down there. So it's obviously where the kitchen chucks out its stuff, etc.
No problem. Is there like a first and second floor?
No, it's just a one floor building.
Just a one floor building.
Yeah.
No problem. So yeah, Hector is going to communicate this to the rest of the party and go, no back entrance, but there's an emergency entrance at the side, standing by in case needed.
Are there any other doors in the restaurant? Are the doors against this wall? Did you say?
Hang on, sorry, No, there's no doors along there. So it looks like the only entrance into the restaurant is either the main double doors at the front or this sort of like side entrance.
And that goes straight into an alleyway.
Yeah.
Into the...
And once you hear Hector say that over the comms, then you can actually see that now. Yes, I do.
I was going to say, does the alleyway go all the way through to the road that we're...
No, it doesn't. So it literally stops like there.
I can't see. 2 seconds.
If you move over to where the door is, you'll be able to see.
Right, yeah.
So it's almost like a back alleyway that just goes to the kitchen door, then that's it.
Right. Okay. Ooh.
Does it look like it can be opened from the outside as well as the inside, or is it just like an inside door?
Yeah, I mean, or it will be able to be open from both sides just for health and safety reasons.
Okay.
You know.
So yeah, Hector. Yeah, so Hector communicates that to the party. Says door into an alley. Doesn't go all the way to the other side of the road where you are, where the car is. Have to get in from on the back, standing by if needed.
Sorry, have to get in from the back. Did you
Yeah,
say?
have to get in from round behind. Yeah, round behind the building. You can't go, but like in Will said, you can't go all the way through to where the car is in the main road. You have to go round behind in a U shape.
Right.
Okay, Lachlan, what are you busy doing?
I'm going to go on the Matrix and look at Moxie's social media, see if anything's there, anything's been posted. Basically trying to get as much information as I can over the last few days of what's happened, if anybody's seen, noticed a missing, or if she's going out with anybody, that sort of thing.
Okay, so you just need to roll your matrix search.
Perception, yeah. And I'm still silent, so...
Yeah, so you'd be -2.
Yeah, no, it's already accounted for.
So that's your intuition. And are you specialised in matrix search?
I am not, he says. Where am I?
Because it's rolled another 2 dice to say
What-
that you're
what-
special.
Oh, am I? No, there's nothing. There's no plus there.
Well, the non where it says 2.
Oh, data processing. That's because of my program. I've got a +2 for data.
And now that goes on to your.
Oh, that's +1. That's completely
you want
different.
to change your deck array for that, so you want to be adding 2 in the bonus for your deck array on the data processing.
No, it shouldn't be. There's nothing on there. Matrix search. I've got just intuition computer.
Yeah,
Nothing
but
else,
it's,
6
see where
dice.
it's rolled. It's got non 2, so it's rolled an extra 2 dice for some unknown reason.
+2. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Matrix actions, searching. I think it's probably picking it up from. So you've got you've got a rating of 5 in computers, yeah?
Did you change the input value of specialized to no when you first clicked it?
I just kept on.
I got
No, I didn't.
That's your specialized because the first one that comes up.
That's
is
right. And you've got
ask
to.
you whether
That's
it's
right.
specialised.
And just click it to no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just change your icon as well so it doesn't say Medivac.
Oh, that's a good point.
So yeah, so re-roll it then without your specialisation in. Yeah.
Re-roll. Oh, see, automatically puts it as yes, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
And that's where you get that +2 from. Yeah. That's better. Yeah. Good grief! What are you rolling?
I know.
Shit.
I know.
1 out of 8.
Well, it's 1 out of 6 really.
No, it's
because
what? Yeah, 1 out of 6 because because he's running silently as well. So that's one hit, which means that you get sort of like general knowledge or public stuff. Okay, then. So after sort of like 1 minute of sort of like searching around, you can ask me one question. Go for it.
Does she have a new boyfriend?
Okay, as previously mentioned, she's a bit of a geeky sort of person, and if you remember, she's really into things like band camp and things like that, and she's a bit of a science geek. And there's you actually have a quick look over her social media, and you actually find out that she does have some men that she's following and keeping an eye out, but they seem to be sort of like famous sports people or famous pop stars, you know, and you can see that she often comments on them saying, "Love you, Barry," or something like that. You know, she obviously has high expectations of herself or aspirations, but she seems to be a bit like a teen fangirl. You know, rather than sort of like seriously going out with anybody. Cool. Okay then. Yeah. Does anybody else wish to do anything? So, Hector, are you staying by this door or further down the pathway?
Sort of a couple of paces away from the door, close enough that I don't look too suspicious, and far enough away, but also close enough that I can.
So, do you want to put yourself where you want to stand? I've put you onto the map now.
Where am I?
Hang on, I just need to.
You put me on the map, and then you took me off the map.
Yeah, I just need to reveal it. Yeah.
He wants to be about sort of. Oh, exactly. Yeah, where he is. Where he is.
There you go.
Yeah, he's gonna be about here, sort of squatting down behind a bin or something, so he can't be seen if somebody looks around.
Oh right, so hiding then. Yeah, got you. Okay, so do you want to make your role, your hiding or stealth? I forget what it's called in this.
There we go. Does my specialization count? I'm specialized in urban.
Yes, you can add that.
Yes.
Fantastic. So that'll be 5 hits. So that'll be used for me seeing you via perception roll if I ever come out. So you're sort of like crouched behind this rather smelly dumpster. While you're down there now, you can see that you suddenly notice down on the bottom there's this sort of like yellowy fluid underneath the dumpster, and you can see it's fat just sort of like oozing out as it's sort of like they've obviously put fatty food into the dumpster, and that's just sort of like seeped out through the gaps, and it's just sort of like so it smells very much like a fish and chip shop.
Is it
down there?
Synthetic fat, because it's probably synthetic meat that they're serving.
Yeah, but they've added a special odour just to make it smell realistic all the time. So fantastic. Okay then. Yeah, who would like to do anything?
Sorry.
Don't you roll dice?
Oh, I was gonna. Can I check if any data packets are coming in and out of this restaurant at all?
From what?
Now,
to where?
I'd need to. I'll let Chugga go while I just think about this. Sorry.
So just to let you know, if you wish to snoop into something,
if they were monitoring, say, like a CCTV from somewhere else, wirelessly, say for example the Decker was, would say for example they had a place down on the docks and they were keeping an eye on that, and he was also in charge of that. Would there be data packages coming in and out of the?
Yeah, I think, okay, so 2 things. Number one, there's probably quite a number of streams going in and out, because obviously there'll be data packages coming in from ordering systems, from the kiosks, from anybody's pad, comm links if they're not running silently, all that to be visible in there. And one of the best ways to find out, say for example, I see what you're meaning, Studley. So if, for example, there was a feed coming into like the host, or onto a computer, onto the guy's cyber deck, what you would need to do is get a mark on the cyber deck and then snoop it. And then that would allow you to intercept matrix traffic. But so if you wanted to see what was coming into Studley's comm link, you would have to snoop his get a mark on his comm link, because you need one mark to do snoop, and then activate a snoop, which would be your electronic warfare plus your intuition limited by your sleaze. And that's opposed by the logic and the firewall of the comm link or cyber deck or whatever.
Studley's going to finish up his jolly meal. He's going to pocket the toy. He's going to stand up, chuck his rubbish in one of those things with the flappy things on.
Yeah.
And then he's going to go to the kiosk. He's going to order a beast and a vanilla shake
Yeah.
for takeout.
Yeah. And so it reduces your. You wanted a what, Si? And this
A beast
A beast.
and a vanilla shake.
Yeah. So that'd be 5 credits for the beast. You don't want to go for the beast deluxe.
No, just the beast and
Okay,
2
and
for-
soy shake and 2 credits for that. Yeah, and it sort of like comes in a little one of those little cardboard things that sort of like with the shake in and a little bag for the thing, and the little kiosk sort of like brings it, and then one of the people come over and say, what name did you put in it?
Oh, it would have gone in a normal name.
So Studley, yeah.
Studley no, Stanley.
Stanley. And then somebody shouts, Stanley Lovely! Stanley Lovely! Beast for Stanley! Anybody, is there a Stanley here who's ordered a beast? And you sort of like...
that's me.
Yeah, and he sort of like hands you, they say, enjoy your meal, have a good day.
Thank you very much. And he'll... Because don't forget, Stanton Studley's currently under a spell.
He is, yeah. Is it... I've got it down.
5 successes.
5 hits, yeah.
Yeah. So you're right. So Studley's going to go out. He's going to go back to the. He's going to go back to the car.
Cool.
As he gets towards the car, he's going to drop his spell so that he just goes into his normal wear and his normal look.
Yeah, cool. And you approach the car and you see
He's going to get into the back.
Locke and Billy Bob there.
He's going to say, "Mr. Bob, I've got you something." And he's going to hand him the beast burger and the vanilla shake.
Ooh, thank you.
Ooh.
When we were in George's shop, he gave us a picture of Moxie.
Yeah.
Did he say how up to date it was?
Yeah, it's very recent.
Okay.
So-
So
It's a good likeness.
okay. So Studley wants to put in a comm call to George,
Yeah.
and when he answers, he's going to say, "Yes, George, it's me, Studley."
I'm so pleased you haven't found her yet.
No, not yet.
Oh no.
The day of her disappearance, can you tell me what she was wearing? As much detail as possible, if you could.
Yeah, she was wearing those trousers that don't come right way down to your ankles, and
shorts?
and sort of like no longer than shorts, stop between the knees and your ankles, and she had some of those white plimsolls on.
Okay, and what
she-
colour were the trousers that were?
I think they were blue.
Okay, and white trainers and anything else?
And she had a t-shirt on that had that guy that she likes from Love Shack. The one with the quite defined abs.
Just 2 ticks, please. And Studley had turned to Billy Bob and say, "Love Shack, man, defined abs."
Kevin.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's it, Kevin.
Kevin.
It said,
right.
I love Kevin. I love Kev, but it was like an eye, as in something that blinks,
I,
and then a heart,
Kev, and then with a heart.
and then
okay.
Kev. He did have quite nice abs, I must say.
Okay. Did Moxie have a comm unit by any chance?
Yeah, she did. She did. Yeah.
Is it still in the in the shop?
Yeah, I have it here.
Ah, right. Right, we may stop by and pick that up just so that we can see whether or not there's any useful information on it, if that's okay.
All right. I'm a bit worried. It's getting quite late.
Oh, there's nothing to worry about, George. As you
I hope I'm not
appreciate-
going to get a finger back in the post or anything.
No, we are professionals.
I hope you are.
Yes. Uh, yes. Yes, right. Thank you very much.
Okay, and he ends the call.
On the plus side, we have 10 chances to get this right.
Yeah.
No, 20. 20 includes the
10
toast.
Yeah,
Yeah. If they go
Oh,
on
I
to 10,
see.
we've got 20.
that's
Oh,
true.
I see what you mean now.
And then there's the ear,
Got you.
and the
Do
nose,
it in 20.
and then teeth.
It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
We'll get it back
Yeah.
in some
Well,
condition.
that's what cybernetics are for.
Did you hear about that British RAF pilot during World War II who
Is
kept
this a
losing
long
body
story?
part? No, and the Germans, and he said, he was in hospital and he had
Is
his
this a
leg
joke?
chopped off. Can you mail it?
You say it's a joke.
Can you mail it to here, please, in the UK? And they said, yes, of course. Then eventually they turned around and said, can you mail my arm there? And he said, no, we think you are trying to escape.
It was a joke, wasn't it?
No, totally running.
Right. Okay. It was a joke.
He tricks us with his not a
Hector
joke.
with his 80s jokes.
Okay, so now Studley has a recent image of Moxie and also a general description of what she's wearing.
Yeah.
So is everybody in the car now?
No, Hector's still down the corridor, down the alleyway.
You
Sitting
haven't
in-
told Hector that he needs to come back to the car yet. As far as Hector knows, you're still
I
in.
thought you'd gone to the toilet.
No, he's been down the alleyway, sitting in some fat.
But there's only
Same
one
thing.
door in, isn't there? And that just goes into the main.
Yes,
There's
correct.
the main front door, and then there's the fire exit, which is what he's sitting outside of, waiting, and he hasn't been told that you've gone back to the car yet.
Okay, so we're going to call Hector back. Come on, Hector. Come on. Once everybody's back in the
Sends
car,
the
we're
emoji
going to
face
drive,
with the red eyebrow
we're
on
going to
it.
drive round to George's to pick up the comm unit. Whilst we're driving around, Studley's going to be saying, "Gosh, I had a bit of a thought when we were in the when I was in McHugh's. There seemed to be a fair bit of security to say that it was just a fast food burger takeaway.
That's right.
What about it might be a front for something? In particular, drugs?
Could be. They're also one of the bigger protection racket gangs in the south side, so perhaps it could be a collection point or something like that, maybe.
I was wondering how easy it would be to actually have something on the menu system that allowed them to order, how shall we say it, maybe extra pickles in their burger and get a bit of drug.
I mean, yeah, pretty easy.
If they knew how to order it properly on the actual system, it might be like a secret menu.
Quite a lot of places do have secret menus.
That sounds like a really good idea. Like ordering extra mayo, nays.
Yes. Or order a specific thing with, extra mayo and pickles, and yes, that's the special order for, I don't know, whatever these youngsters are taking nowadays.
Is there a way you can check the menu list?
Well, I think
He's
that's
saying that to
Locke. Mr. Locke
yeah.
to do.
I could certainly have a look, but I mean, all I would see would be, well, I could have a look, but my view is on that. All I would be able to see is a menu system with people ordering things. It wouldn't really say what they're
Yes,
ordering.
I was thinking about that. As you probably realise, I used to be an investigative journalist, and what I would probably do is maybe even try to get a mark on the ordering system, see whether or not there's any hidden files, but also look at to see what has been ordered and look to see whether or not there's something that really stands out. Like, as I said, something like I don't know, a beast with extra pickle and mayo. And maybe, if there's a whole load of those that's being sold, then. But also, I would have thought that then they would also then send the packets of data of what was being sold to somewhere else.
Order in the extra pickles.
Well, I can certainly have a look anyway. There's no harm in trying.
Yes. Big's drinking wine.
He drank that very quickly.
He must be out of beer.
I'm out of beer, but it's juice. I'm out of wine as well.
No.
I was thinking about another way that we might be able to discover the whereabouts of Moxie, and I'm going to ask Mother for some help. See whether or not she can assist in any way.
That could be quite good.
Okay, so is Locke doing something on the Matrix? Let's do that part first while you're in the car. Yeah. So tell me what's the plan?
Okay, so I will do. I'll go in silent. I'll do a hack on the fly onto. When I did the AR, there's a few bits and pieces slaved up to the system, up to the host, wasn't there? There was the metal detector.
So is the plan to actually enter into the host?
Yes, but I'm thinking about going in the back way of going into a slave first and then into the host. Mind you, saying that I'd need to jack into the slave, wouldn't I?
You would have to, yeah.
Well, so I might as well just go straight into the host.
Yeah, I mean, well, it depends. If you go in via a device, then it won't actually have the host protection of it if you jack directly into it.
That's right.
However, you would have to jack into the kiosk or something like that. But if not, you're going to have to enter the host. If you're going in purely wirelessly, then you're going to have to go in to the host.
Yeah.
Just,
I can't really go
out of character. The burger drug thing is a side thing that I was just wondering whether or not that was the front for the shop. Don't go in specifically for that.
No, I'm going to go in looking for anything I can possibly find. Yeah, I can't really go in and go directly into any slaves because they know me in there now.
Okay, so the idea is that you're going to hack on the fly and try to get a mark on the host so you can get into the host, yeah?
Yeah.
So that will be your hacking plus logic. Are you rearranging your deck array before you go in?
I have.
Okay.
I'm going to go in stealthy, so I have it's on that.
So yeah, so as long as you've rearranged your deck array on your character sheet, because then it'll be and you've sorted out your programs running. So what programs have you got running?
So at the moment I've got browse, edit, virtual machine, armor, exploit, and stealth.
Okay, excellent. So therefore, you need to roll hacking plus logic, and
Which is the one that gives you +2 to hack on the fly? Is that stealth or sleaze?
That's exploit.
Exploit, right?
Yeah.
Are you just going for one mark, or you're going for?
No, I'm just going to go for one because I think that's all I'll need for what I want to do.
Right. So you roll that.
Are you doing a matrix perception first?
I've already done that, haven't I?
Right.
Yep.
He's going into the host. So
Right.
hacking plus logic, limited by your sleeves. It should be hack on the fly, complex action, and I'm resisting it with that plus that. So that is.
So if you've already done matrix perception, you'll know basically what the firewall will be of the host.
Yes, he hasn't perceived the actual host. He just looked round for running silent.
Yeah,
Thing.
I just went for AR. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so tell me what does your hack on the fly look like?
My avatar for my hack on the fly is a rather medium-sized looking. Sorry, here we go. A smoky frog with turquoise eyes.
Okay, and what does your mark look like?
Oh, so the mark, that was basically, like I said before, it's a smoky orb with a little turquoise dot in the middle, like a frog spawn.
Oh, cool. So you busy sort of like take out this smoky frog spawn, is that right? Yeah, and sort of like send it towards the host of this place, and as it comes, it sort of like it sticks onto what appears to just be a white cube, and that's what the host looks like. It looks like it's very default. In essence, and you stick your spawn onto it, and you notice that it tends to fizzle a bit. It goes, pss, and then all of a sudden it comes back together and fires out as your persona, and all of a sudden it hits you on the chest, and you look down and you have a burger on your chest.
I've been marked. Okay, so in which case I will erase mark if I can.
Cool. So that would be your that's your computer, isn't it?
Yeah, there we go. Computer and erase mark. Computer and logic.
Computer and logic. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. So I need yeah, you sort of like activate a little board rubber that comes out of your hand, and you sort of like go to try to eliminate it, but it's still there. It's literally still there.
Very good.
Okay, I am going to, at the moment, get out and reboot my deck.
Okay, so you come out of the matrix and you reboot. So let's nip over to you, Studley.
Who's in the back seat with Studley?
Who hired the decker? I think no. Locke's in the back.
We don't have a decker.
Locke's in the back seat.
Yeah.
Okay, so Studley's going to sort of like shimmy up to one side so that there's room sort of like in the middle.
Is your computer skill only 5? Wow.
I know.
Yeah, so go for it. Yeah.
Sorry.
So there's sort of like room in the middle, and then he's going to be sat in the back, and he's going to sort of like close his eyes, and he's going to the other people in the car hear him say, "Mother, I need you."
Do you need a summoning roll?
No.
No.
I can. It's a simple action to call a spirit.
Yeah, and I think she appears like an old woman, doesn't she?
She's an old lady, yes.
Yeah,
so she'll probably they won't actually see her, but she'll be sat down in astral space, sort of like on the seat in between.
Right, in
in between Studley and Locke.
Oh,
but she hasn't been told to manifest.
so you're looking at her in astral perception at the
Yeah.
moment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she sort of like appears sat in between you and Locke.
Okay.
So this is happening, Locke, while you're doing your matrix work. Yeah.
Studley's going to say, I need your assistance, Mother, to see whether or not you can find somebody for me.
Oh yes, my dear. How can I help you?
Yes, unfortunately, you cannot view her yourself because she's missing. But
Oh, this might be difficult.
I know you'll probably find it a bit harder than usual, but I've got as much information as I can.
Right.
He'll show the picture on the com. If she needs to manifest, then she can manifest to see.
Yeah, because she that in astral plane that
Yeah.
won't look like anything at all. It just look like grey because there's no.
So she'll manifest at that point so that she can actually.
So all of a sudden, Locke, you notice that as you try to rub this mark off, that there's like an old woman suddenly appears in between you and Studley. Yeah, carry on, Studley.
And then he's going to say, and she was wearing. This is what she was wearing when she went missing. And he's going to give a description of the clothing that she had on.
Okay.
And then if needs be, he'll get Big to give a description of Kev. Was it Kev?
Kev, yeah.
Kev, so she knows what's more that's on the t-shirt.
Okay, yeah, got you. Yeah.
And he'll say that unfortunately that's all the information I can probably give you at this time.
So is there plan to use say again, sorry?
I'm just telling her to do her best.
Yeah, so are you expecting her to use her search power?
Indeed.
Yeah,
Yes.
seek and you shall find. Okay, right. So to find the target, it's her magic plus intuition. And it's an
Right, so
extended
she's a force.
test.
Right. So her magic is 6
Okay.
and her intuition is 7 because she's a spirit of man.
Okay then. So that would be 13 dice then.
Okay. And she's going to use her edge to assist it.
Okay then. So just to let you know, your threshold is the kilometers away. You gain +5 to the threshold if it's in a non-living object or place, which you're fine with.
Hopefully we won't get that.
Yeah. You do get a negative dice modifier if the target is hidden with a concealed spell or is behind a mana barrier, and in which case it's a negative dice pool. Okay.
Okay.
But if you just roll your dice and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so she's going to be rolling a total of 13, 14. She's going to be rolling a total of 16 dice.
Okay.
Because she's using her edge.
So
using.
Yeah, so the threshold is 5 plus those, and it's per 10 minutes.
Okay, and this is an extended test.
Yeah, but don't worry about the crit, because I know critical success fails and things like that, because I know glitches, sorry, because I know that it doesn't work, but I know we'll just start counting down.
Okay, and what about if I'm using a point of edge straight away, so it takes off any limits?
Well, yeah. So okay. So what we do, look.
But what about the exploding 6 rule?
Right. Well, we can have a look at that as we go down, because we can see the actual dice rolls.
12, 13, 14. I'm rolling 16 dice for this.
Okay, got you. And cross off a service, remember.
Yeah. and I don't think extended tests are working. Do you need to do something to it?
How many
Does it
dice
need-
are you rolling? 13.
15.
Let's see if they're working.
I went through everything, just nothing came up. And again, is it because
Okay.
we're on the starting screen, or
No, it doesn't matter. So roll your 15 roll your 15 dice to start off with, and let's see how many successes you get for the first 10 minutes. We can do it that way. That's not a problem. Yeah, so you sort of like set off, and you sort of like she goes, "Oh yes, I'm on my way. I'll do my best." And she sort of like goes, disappears. Is that the two? Those
two
exploding,
explosions.
yeah. And she disappears, and literally, you got 6 successes for the first 10 minutes, and literally within 10 minutes, she goes, "Chum," and she appears back. And she says, "Found him? Found her?"
that was quick. Well, whereabouts?
Oh, she's somewhere very cold.
Take me there, and he's going to slip into astral himself.
Okay, yeah, she takes you, and she says,
Oh, that won't be a service, will it?
"Yes."
Oh, in which case you can't say it then.
All right. She says, "Oh," she says, "she's in there." And she points to the restaurant.
She's in the freezer. Or the fridge.
Oh. Oh well. Thank you.
I
very
thought
much.
I did really well there.
No,
Was she alive?
That was absolutely yes.
Thank you. I look forward to serving you again.
Thank you.
Well,
Goodbye.
and she goes, "Toodle pip,"
Bye, mother.
and she disappears.
So Studley's going to say, I found her. She's in a restaurant somewhere.
I heads plus number of kilometers away didn't give a very big. So it was literally
Can you
5.
just bring up the restaurant thing again, please?
Yeah, by all means.
Because apart from the 2 toilets,
No, there's a room at the back which will go behind where the emergency door cuts off, I reckon. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that one there.
There's a door. There's a door. There's a door here that you don't know
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah.
right.
which is why probably the alleyway's closed off, because it probably goes all the way around there.
The only way is closed off,
Closed off.
baby.
So, if she's there,
Billy Bob's going to ask Hector, the wall, was it brick?
can I roll a memory test in this?
Are you back in the car now? Which wall are we talking about? Sorry. Are you still in the alley, or are you back in the car? I missed that bit.
We went. They swung around to pick me up.
Oh,
So
right.
I'm-
Got you. Okay. That's...
All right, so I see. So Hector, to get where he was to here, he had to come down this way
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and go
Yeah.
right the way around the back to get up there.
To get
and then
up
there
that
was
way,
a
yeah.
wall. There was a wall there.
That's a
So-
wall. Yeah.
So here, this is sort of like a.
I don't know where you're pinging. So.
I'm drawing. I was drawing.
All right.
It goes right the way across like that. Can you see that?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Right. And this the same here, because that's where the these are where the toilets are.
Correct. Yeah. But
Does
you
the,
will know, just to extend your drawing, you will know that it goes probably down there.
I can't
Can
see
I,
this.
can I point out I can't see this?
Yeah, no, I mean from it's because you let me just reveal it to you so you can see it. So you do know that it probably goes down here because that's where Hector
Yes, that's
walked.
that's
Yeah.
what I meant. Yeah,
So
and then right the way around the thing up to there.
yeah.
Does I mean, does McHugh's, does it have is it open 24/7?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. So if she's there and she's somewhere cold, as Mother said, how are we going to get her? Are we just going to barge in and get her? Are we going to try and talk our way in? Because I mean, I could, with a bit of disguise work, I could disguise myself and Locke so we could try and get in again if we needed to.
Yes.
Maybe one of the workers?
I think what we need to actually look at as well is that as well as getting Moxie back, we do need to we do need to try to make sure that the for tellies, I believe that's what they're called,
Correct, yeah.
don't come looking for how did they put it in the movies? Payback.
Can we when we were in there talking to George, he said he had to pay off the Fratellis because other people were bothering him. If we solved the other people bothering him, would that help the situation?
I think as far as the Fratellis go, once they have their claws into somebody, they will just keep bleeding them until.
So,
Hector, just roll your street knowledge.
If the decker within the restaurant is actually working for the Fratellis, then he would probably already know that George does not have.
So you, Hector, you know that protection rackets normally work as the people that you're paying money to for protection normally start off by getting people to go around and cause damage to the property, and then they come around and say, hey, we'll protect you, give us some money, and then they send their thugs somewhere else.
yeah. So failing that, we've got to somehow get the Fratellis to lose interest in him. So whether that's either make them think he's too bigger of a fish to tackle, or find somewhere else to get him off their radar.
Locke, your computer systems have rebooted, by the way, so
Wonderful.
you've lost that mark.
Yeah. So I'll just reconfigure to a different setup, which I've just changed now.
Cool, that's excellent, thank you.
Okay, so we've got several issues. I mean, our main concern is and you say it was a single-story building.
Yes.
Hector, right?
Yes,
Oh, sorry.
It was a single story, yes. So I looked to see if there was an upstairs window I could have got into, but there wasn't one.
Flat roof. Skylights, vents. Not normally something like if it was a kitchen or a cold storage thing, that there might have been some form of um, cooling
Ventilation.
system on the roof.
Can I roll a memory skill to see if I saw anything like that in was?
You would have needed to go up. You would have had to climb up,
Correct.
use your
Okay.
wall walking and climb up it and have a
Oh,
look
yeah.
see whether or not it
Well-
was flat.
Isn't there any sign of any steam or smoke coming from the top of the building? Because you would have thought with the big vents and the steam coming out of it, if they're cooking away, then there'd be something.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you don't need to make a perception roll for that. There are stuff coming up out of the top. It looks like it's probably like those big hoods that go over the fat fryer that sort of like have that big, almost like a big silver clad tubing that goes up to the top just to let the heat and the air out. Yeah, so there's definitely something like that. Definitely.
I think we definitely need to know whether or not there's any access at all through on the roof, be it a vent going into the refrigerator unit, or I don't know, even a skylight. What type of lock was on the emergency exit?
What sort of lot do you know? I didn't look in
I
those.
don't know. I was buying a burger.
I can tell you that that's not a problem. On the outside, it looks like some kind of like a keypad lock. Most of the restaurants around here would have keypad locks in, or card or Madlock swipe cards. They are required to have emergency access if need be, but a lot of the private security forces, such as Lone Star, don't even bother with things like that. If they wanted to go in, they would just bash the door down, and then that would be it.
There was Studley. There was the normal sort of maglock card swipe maglock on the fire exit.
Right. So
But one
is
assumes it would be
that
open from
something
inside
that
more
you could deal with if needs be?
if needs be. But the easier route might be to try and get in through one of the roof the skylight windows if there are any.
Yes, the easier would be, but unfortunately, that would limit the incursion team to one, as you are the only person who could possibly climb a wall.
I could. Has
And
anybody got
chances
any-
are, once you're up there, you would not have the strength to move the air conditioning or the ventilation system to then get down into the area where Moxie was being kept. So,
is there,
I don't know. You can stand on my shoulders.
has anyone got any rope? Because with some rope, I could climb up the wall, tie the rope off, and then whoever else needs to come up could climb up the rope.
Dudley will tie himself down and go, no, no rope.
All out.
Well, I mean,
I'm all out of rope. I'm so lost without you.
I put that
That was a good one. Sorry.
I assume if we're doing this, we're going to be doing this at night as opposed to the middle of the day.
well, it doesn't really matter because it's open 24/7.
It is. That is true.
Well, we can always
So
go.
the old let's hold up a restaurant for money isn't really applicable in the times that we live because, well, there isn't any money.
Well, and it's also the fact that there's two big turrets set above the counter, which I still need to take out. Really, those turrets.
if we can get in through the back door, the turrets won't be an issue, I don't think.
Right. I mean, we definitely need some type of plan. I think we wait till we wait till it's night. We do a two-way. Right.
Right, worse.
No, sorry. Just coming up with maybe a bit of a plan. It does
Ooh, a
rely
plan.
on luck.
No!
Only luck can save us now.
Only luck can save them now.
Just out of interest, who were the people who tried to get in beforehand with the guns?
Hector and Luke.
Lock myself.
Right. So that would probably work out. So the plan would be, and purely part of this plan is to limit the capability of what Locke has to do within the host. But the first thing would be that he would need to get a mark and actually disable the metal detector.
That would be possible. It is running wireless,
Okay.
so it is visible.
Once the metal detector has been turned off, two people will insert themselves within the restaurant. One being Mr. Bob, who will be armed, and the other one will be myself, who would be looking normal, not under the influence of his spell. In the meantime, we will have Mr. Hector going round to the back and starting to open the side entrance.
Okay.
When the at a precise time, given which we will know because once he's managed to disable the turrets, Mr. Locke will disengage all lights within the premises. Once that is done, the armed guard will be taken out by Mr. Bob, and the decker and any of the fratellis that are in the restaurant will also be taken out, both by Mr. Bob and myself. We will try to do it to when there are not many civilians in it, and we will hopefully also have locking the doors. See how I did that? Lock.
Okay, so just to Lock, this is for your information. There's various things that you can see running wireless that you'll be able to hack into just from where you are. However, there are other things that are actually operated within the host. So things like the metal detector and the gun turrets, and the kiosks, they seem to be running wireless, so you can actually access them from where you are now. You can actually data spike them or control them or whatever. However, things like the light and the power, the air con, etc., that would definitely be from within the host. Of course, if you're in the host, you will be able to see all the other things as well.
Yep.
You know, if you wish to enter the host once you've got a mark on the say the metal detector, then you would have to make a direct connection to it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Another alternative to the plan would be that you somehow get a mark on the food ordering system, find out who actually does maintenance, and then data spike the actual food ordering system. We could then have Rusty Rosie under the effect of a phantasm spell pull up as the as the people that do the maintenance, and then we could get in that way. But I think this other plan is going to be is probably going to be the best. Unless anybody else can come up with anything on the spur of the moment, like I just did.
We could always go in as the delivery men. Just sort of like just walk in as the delivery men. Say data spike the delivery system, so they think they've got a delivery coming. We turn up, as you said, with Rusty Rosie as looking like a delivery van. We walk out with crates of food. Walk into the just walk in. So we've got a delivery. Walk it into the freezer for you. Go in and then get her out that way.
Okay, so
That's another option.
Well, how are you hoping to get her out of there? Are you hoping to do that without a gunfight? Because unless we go out with a really, really big box, they're going to see her going out the front door.
yeah.
Wow.
And we would also have to get the supplies to walk in with, unless I
Just
would
empty boxes.
both.
No, I think going with the direct approach is probably, because either way it's gonna probably come down to the direct approach in the end. And hopefully when I go in there I might be able to get some dirt on this guy as well. So
I
Okay.
think that would be the main thing. If we could get, that's a very good idea, that Mr. Locke. If you could get something that under the threat of leave George alone, otherwise this would go to the police and also maybe your competitors, then that might give us the how can I put it, the leverage that we would need to keep the Fratellis off George's back.
May I also suggest that we, after my own close experience of the law, when I broke into the parking garage, perhaps we should have something to disguise our faces as well as the lights going off,
Yes, in
in case they do the recording.
Yes. Well, that's pretty easy. I personally have already taken my disguise into account, and he's going to Studley's going to pick up the bag that Billy Bob's probably just in the back seat, and he's going to spend some time just pulling out some eye holes.
Adjusting it.
So that he's got a McHugh's bag on his head with two eye holes and a little mouth hole.
and a very greasy top of your head.
Yeah, he will have a very greasy hair once he comes out
It's all
of
right,
it.
because he's sort of like, he's that type of person anyway, but he can soon get that off.
Yeah, oh yes, it'll definitely come off quite easily. Definitely.
So yes, you just need to find some your thing would be to get the girl out ASAP, Hector.
Okay, I can do that.
So,
So
tell me step by
synopsis.
step plan then, please.
Okay, so the first step-by-step plan is that
I need to get on the host.
Locke is going to disable
Detectives.
at least enough time for Billy Bob and Studley to get through the metal detectors.
Okay.
To be fair, I'm just as well frying them than just disabling them, because they might just reboot. Or...
Well, no, because if that deck is monitoring it, it's going to.
Oh, true. Yeah. So I'll just turn it off.
If you just turn it off briefly as we go through, if he's monitoring the system at a later stage, he won't actually know that it's. Once that's done, Billy Bob and Studley are going to are going to go in and position themselves order food, position themselves in the restaurant. Depending on who's in the restaurant will be depending on where each person sits.
Okay. Yeah.
Hector is then going to go round to the back door, and he is going to start getting through that. I know that Locke can probably do that. He can probably get in, but I don't know. I just think that may be limiting what Locke's doing in the Matrix.
Well, it depends what he. Are you going in hot sim then, or are you staying in the car? Or are you actually going in?
I was in two minds about going round to the back door and going to that pad that's there.
And then what?
And then going in, I would say hot sim.
So you go right. So therefore, you would go round to the door, connect yourself up, and then lapse into unconsciousness on the floor to go in hot sim.
That's a very good point. Would I want to be unconscious on the floor at the back? Because that's where you're going in, Longshanks. You're going in the front door, aren't you?
I think I think what might be a better thing to do if you're going hot sim from anywhere is to go hot sim from the car.
From the car, exactly. And just sit there. Yeah.
And then you will lose your -2. Mm-hmm. So you'll be at least up to sort of like your normal dice roll, and then hacking into sort of like the metal detectors. So you do hack on the fly, but because you're coming in, they will have the host protection from it. So you're going into that, and then really and truly to turn them off, it'll just be a simple action. So once you've got a mark, you can then control device on it to turn it off. And then you can then I think it's just a simple action therefore to enter the host, because you've got a mark on it. Yeah, because you've got a mark on the device.
Yeah.
That will automatically give you a mark on the host.
Yeah.
And so that will give you your mark to actually enter. But remember, marks on the host do not give you marks on the device.
That's right.
And then once he's actually in the host and he's able to affect the gun turret and the lighting system.
Yeah.
Once Hector is ready, he's going to kill the lights.
Okay.
Not Hector, but Locke is going to kill the lights, and hopefully the gun turrets. But the lights first, and once the lights are done, Billy Bob is going to take out the.
Are you listening, Billy Bob?
It's going to take out the security guard, trying not to kill him, and Studley is going to also look for anybody else. If Vic is still there, or he might probably go for the Decker.
I was going to say take out the Decker.
We'll get the. In the meantime, Hector is going straight for the door at the back to get Moxie.
Mm-hmm.
If she struggles, then taser her to get her out. And
she probably won't want to struggle.
And then we're going to go out through the front doors. Once we're out through the front doors, Locke is going to disconnect himself, bring the car around. We're all going to get in, go home, live happily.
Sounds a perfect plan. What possibly could go wrong? Right.
Locke's going to have to see whether or not he can get any data packages as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to reset my deck back to what it was before then, so I can go more data orientated rather than attack.
You want to go stealth and data, really.
Yeah.
So I think that will be a good time just to have a quick break, and then when we come back, we can go straight into enjoying the adventure. Now,
Carnage.
What do you say, sorry?
Carnage.
Carnage.
No, I'm sure there will not be carnage. Just to let you know that for today and tomorrow there's 20% off in the waffling stores, so everybody knows. Right, let's have a quick 10-minute break and we'll be back in 10 minutes. See you all soon. I've been thinking about a design for my channel. You have to remember, I'm not an artist or a creative person. I have the programs, but not the expertise. I don't have the money to hire a graphic or concept designer, or to take the time off work to attend art classes or creative retreats. So I had to come up with something myself. It had to represent my channel and me. It had to be easy and yet adaptable. And so, after much thought and crunches up of pieces of paper, I came up with the following design. It's not detailed. It's not graphically stunning. It's not colourful. It's not complex. It's simple because it reflects me and my skills. What is it? Well, to represent me in Wills, it's just an eye.